Hello everybody, this is Soniv.
This is WaveofShadow. We are getting right into Game 2 of the AHGL B-League Finals between SecurityMetrics and it sounds like some sort of ancient Egyptian name.
Yeah.
SecurityMetrics and Qualcomm.
More like a, yeah. I'm not remembering. Never mind, not gonna make any jokes.
What were you gonna say?
Nothing, jumping right into the bands. We see Jace, which was a huge damage threat from SecurityMetrics. I am not going to remember to do that last game, and we do see Qualcomm banning that out. So yeah, we do see one targeted just from last game. Leona staying the same, Aurelia staying the same from SecurityMetrics, and Kog'Maw. They really don't want to deal with that poke.
Yeah, that seems all right to me. I mean, if they don't want to have to deal with the poke comp, it's fine. I mean, I would argue that it wasn't necessarily any of those champions that made the game, but I think Chase and Kog'Maw together as a poke comp duo certainly made things difficult for Qualcomm. So good bans all around. Now we're going to see that last Raven ban targeted towards Point Blank. No, Elise. So now it's Point Blank and can be able to pick up the Riven that he is apparently famous for.
Potentially. I'm surprised. I mean, we did hear that Point Blank is very good on Riven. I'm surprised that Crazy Moose isn't grabbing it for him if that's something they really want to run, because that gives the opportunity to SecurityMetrics really to just grab that Riven.
Well, I really just sort of. I mean, maybe there's no one on SecurityMetrics who can play Riven?
Certainly possible. I don't know. But then why not ban? I mean, I don't know the players well enough. I mean, we've heard the Point Blanket is a really good Riven. Maybe SecurityMetrics really just wants to test that, see what actually happens if they give Point Blanket Riven.
Qualcomm actually banned Lux last game and now is picking her up, so I'm wondering if that is effectively, done to prevent someone such as maybe Sir Spam or, I guess, Iggy from playing her.
Yeah, well, Qualcomm was second pick last game, so they really didn't want to leave that Lux up for SecurityMetrics to take. Her poke is just absolutely... Oh, Thresh wasn't banned. We are going to see Thresh and Hecarim.
Oh, the demon duo here. I was going to say
terrifying. Sorry.
They're scurry.
Yeah, they're both very, very good champions. Hecarim really good at high elos. I don't personally know how to play him well, but he's just really, really good if you know how to use him.
What's there to know? You press F, you press E, you run into things.
I clearly can't do that. I don't know. Oh, let's see what Bobo picks. Oh, Titicaca grabbing the Morgana, maybe mid this time. Not sure.
This is something I don't know that I've ever seen Lux and Morgana on the same team.
It's scary. There's bindings everywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and now this is
like
interesting.
Qualcomm
I sense the beginnings of what might be an AOE health comp.
Yep. And I mean, we did sort of see a little bit of that. Oh, actually, the Sona also works for that as well. We did see a little bit of that from them last game, but it was more concentrated in small areas, whereas this game, they're going for huge areas of explosion. We may see in a Moo jungle.
Ooh, Kassadin. I like.
Lots of mobility on SecurityMetrics team. A lot of mobility.
I think Kassadin especially a pretty good pick here because, I mean, there's not much. Oh, look at that Udyr. This is really nice because I'm going to get to see champions that I don't get to see played all that often. I think Kassadin in particular is a pretty good pick here. Gonna have a lot of trouble if he has to lane against Lux, however. Oh, and there's the Riven. Yep,
there is Point Blank. It's Riven. We are going to see how good he is top. He is rumored to be a very, very good Riven. I am actually surprised to see Udyr being picked. I would assume, I mean, a Moo just in this composition would be so good.
It really would be, that's true. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess there's something about Kakashi's Udyr is maybe pretty good. I honestly couldn't tell you. It does seem to be a little bit out of place in the rest of this in the rest of the team comp. But I mean, they do have stuns out the wazoo here. So
yes, there is a lot of crowd control. Ooh, do it, Addy Andrus.
No,
do it.
That's not gonna happen.
Do it.
That's a troll play. That's not happening. Which AD? That's also not happening. As much as I would be interested to see how that turns out.
That would be hilarious.
That would be ridiculous. Misfortune would be erased from the map.
Yes.
But yeah, again, I don't particularly see that happening. Although on hit LeBlanc, I bet this is. I don't know if you knew about this, but on hit LeBlanc is I don't want to say viable build, but it is a build.
Why is that a thing?
Do you know why that's a thing?
No.
Because her passive does damage
No, it does not.
with on-hit items.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That is
I don't know
hilarious.
if that's a bug or what it is, but yeah. So apparently you basically sort of try to force trades, and then your passive gets procced, and then you just blow somebody up, and they're like, how did that happen?
Wow. That's hilarious.
So,
I've never
yeah.
known that. All right, but we do see
The more you know.
Ezreal from Adiandris. Just look at the sheer amount of mobility coming out from SecurityMetrics. That's a really, really nice composition against an AoE hell comp like this. I mean, Udyr doesn't quite fit in that, but it's hard. We saw it last game. If you have a lot of disengage, a lot of mobility, it's really difficult to lock you down for an AoE comp.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not like this is. I'm trying to sort of figure out what Qualcomm is doing with these picks, because, I mean, on the one hand, Lux is really, really great for trying to shut down mobility champions like Ezreal and like Kassadin, but, I mean, unless they're able to really chain that with, you know, more range disables, that's going to be difficult, and Riven and Udyr are not really range disables.
Well, you have to remember that Lux was first picked, so...
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Why not chain those with, again, like you said, with an
Oh, yeah, I agree. I don't know. I mean, Udyr is very strong now, and I'm not really well versed enough in the jungle to know why you would pick an Udyr over an Amumu in this situation, so I can't really give you a straight answer. But if I was just looking at these compositions and I was like, okay, what jungler do I want? I would want an Amumu to that locks down mobility. That is exactly what you want.
And picking up the cleanse, Adiandris is going to be even harder to kill now, so he can arcane shift, he can cleanse out if he gets hit by a binding or a stun. I don't know, I'm thinking Qualcomm may have a real difficulty locking anyone down into that AoE. That
said, if they do, SecurityMetrics is going to be in a world of hurt.
Yes, certainly so, and I mean they pretty much just have to make sure that they are able to take out one of the high priority targets, either Iggy or Adiandris, because Thresh not exactly a super high damage champion, and neither is Hecarim. So, I mean, they've essentially just scored. But again, then members of Qualcomm are also fairly squishy aside from Udyr. So, I don't know, Soniv. I don't know what to make of this.
It's going to come down to execution, I think, and it's. Using a mobility comp is a little bit more difficult to execute because you need to do everything correctly than an AoE hell comp, just because AoE hell comp is, okay, you press R and then you kill everyone. But if you do a mobility composition correctly, it is really, really difficult to do anything about.
Yeah, and I mean, Thresh hooks, we're going to have to see. And I mean, from what we saw last game, Sir Spam is certainly adept when it comes to skill shots.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if his hooks are anywhere as good as his bindings, then, again, I think Qualcomm are going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Bobo and Crazy Moose do have a good amount of damage early on. I mean, just the poke and sheer aggression that they can bring against, say, Thresh or even Adiandris. Just like in general, there's no sustain for either or for SecurityMetrics teams. So there can be a good amount of poke coming down from Qualcomm, and not too much that SecurityMetrics can do about it without any outside help.
Yeah, I think Bobo and Crazy Moose are really just going to have to exert their dominance in the lane really early, while at the same time trying to avoid that harass from Sir Spam. Especially Bobo, who did get hit by a lot of bindings last game. If Bobo can avoid getting hit by those hooks and really just lay out the damage on Sir Spam and Adiandris, that may be exactly what they needed to sort of shut that down early game.
Yeah, we are seeing Chops go top lane with Jarvan against Point Blanket's Riven. So we'll have to see how that matchup goes, and we are just going to jump right in. We'll see if Chops' computer is super slow like it was rumored to be.
Yeah. I'm thinking the Jarvan pick against Riven is actually somewhat decent, because you generally don't want to go all into, like, Riven wants to all in you, and Jarvan can sort of farm somewhat from a distance with E and Q a little bit if absolutely necessary. And his build, he wants to be building armor anyway. So going against a Riven is pretty much just going to work. And have a look at skins.
How do they look, Wave?
How did they look? They look, Pulsefire Israel, I don't know, I got nothing to say about that. That Hecarim skin, I don't think I've ever seen before, ever.
It's pretty beast.
I've never seen it.
It's awesome, I like it.
Does he have a face?
He has a helmet.
Covering his face?
Yeah.
How does he see?
There's holes. There's holes in the helmet. What do you want from me? I don't know.
Are there eye holes? It looks like there's just random holes poked in it.
Dude, he's a horse. He's a ghost horse. He can.
And Dragon Slayer Jarvan's helmet looks stupid. I don't care what Final Fantasy game that came out of. It looks dumb.
Is that what it's from?
I don't know.
No, that's what Warring Kingdoms is from. Or some sort of, I don't know.
No,
some
it looks
anime.
like it's, anyway, whatever. Anyway,
Things that don't matter.
Things that don't matter.
Oh boy. Okay, so I wonder if we're going to see any crazy potion starts like we expected to see last game.
Red pot start from Riven? Yep, there it is.
Yep, there it is. It's just really nice for that lane aggression. She's got that ward as well, so she's going to be able to throw it down. Maybe at this tri-brush, make sure that nothing fancy's coming along from Hecarim, or yeah, from Zarni. And Iggy does have a whole bunch of pots, but he's not going for the 9 potion start. He's going for the 6 health and 3 mana. Really nice for casting. He doesn't need to spam spells early on to be able to do anything in lane.
Yeah, before he hits 6, he's going to have a lot of trouble. I'm really interested to see how he's going to be able to lane it all against Lake Titicaca. I mean, again, I know Kassadin's early laning is just absolutely awful, and it's going to be really hard for him to do anything. But once he's hit 6, he can start using that mobility, start ganking other lanes. If he chooses to max E first, it'll be easier for him to farm. He's got a lot of things he can do to mitigate the damage.
Yep, Qualcomm is bunched up in this bush. They want. It looks like Kakashi may be starting red buff, which is a bit odd, I think. But again, I'm not sure with new Udyr. But we did see Iggy ward this river bush right there, so they will see any fancy aggression coming on. It doesn't look like anything is coming from Qualcomm. So SecurityMetrics is just going to retreat back into their jungle and get ready to give Zarni his blue buff.
Certainly so. And something interesting to note, Sir Spam's starting build is something you generally don't see quite as much. It's usually, I think, from a support, you see the other part of the Philosopher's Stone, whatever the mana thing. I don't remember what the name of it.
That's what he has.
What is it? The Fairy Charm.
Sir Spam. Sorry, I was looking at. I was looking at crazy.
So he started, instead of starting Fairy Charm, he started Rejuvenation Beads because I think he's a little less worried about spamming his abilities than he is just trying to stay alive going into auto attack. And I actually think that's a fairly smart call from him.
Well, the thing about Thresh is his mana costs really are not that prohibitive, so he can just do what he needs to do as a support in general, but he's going to more than likely take a bunch of harass, so he wants that regen, and he doesn't necessarily need all the mana regen that he would get from a Fairy Charm.
And I mean, the thing about Thresh is, what he wants to be doing as support is less spamming abilities like Sona and more auto attack harass.
Yes.
Because of that bonus damage he gets on his auto attack, which is being nerfed, by the way.
Oh man, I'm excited for it.
Oh, my goodness.
It will offer a little bit more choice and thought when you're playing Thresh, and I think that is a really good thing.
Yep, and there's that harass coming out from Crazy Moose onto Ad Andrus and Sir Spam, already taking quite a bit of damage, but with the help of that Rejuvenation Bead, Sir Spam is going to heal that right back up.
Yep, Zarni now grabbing that red buff while Kakashi taking his blue buff simultaneously. We might know Zarni's going to go down to his wraiths, but it looks like Kakashi wants to go up or invade somewhere.
I was going to say, a lot of warding going down. This is real smart from both Lake Titicaca and Iggy. Want to make sure that they don't get caught out here, not having to blow those early flashes.
Oh.
Kakashi coming around here. I was going to say, he was trying to go in there, and like Zarni was debating whether or not to go up. No, instead he's going to go and take his wolves, while Kakashi takes the golems away from Hecarim.
Yep, and they do not see that Kakashi is at those golems. You know, sometimes that wave that's passing by can catch someone at the golems, but Kakashi was tucked around far enough so it was not seen by SecurityMetrics.
I wonder if Chops almost must have seen him there. He walked a little bit almost in the jungle there. Kakashi is able to port back. There's no ward in that brush, so I'm wondering if Chops knows something's up, or thinks something's up rather, actually. In fact, it's gone back. Point Blanket actually doing a whole bunch of harass on the turret. Chops is being pushed back and is going to be missing a whole lot of farm unless he can successfully last hit the turret, which he's failing to do a little bit, actually.
Yeah, and we do see that Zarni is in this tri-brush now, but Point Blanket does have a ward there. He's going to be able to see if Zarni comes through. And Iggy also pressed to his turret. That's expected early on as Kassadin versus Lux, but really not that low on health or mana as you'd sort of expect to see at this point.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised Zarni didn't go up and try for the gank, because even if he'd been seen by Point Blanket, at least that sort of relieves the aggression a little bit, which is exactly, I mean, what Chops needs right now. And Point Blanket actually forcing to burn through a few of his potions a little bit lower than Chops. Chops is doing a very good job of dealing with his aggression, and now Zarni is going to try and come up again, but Point Blanket not pushed up as far, and actually knows, thanks to the ward in the jungle, that he is probably around there.
Yeah, and this ward that he's got in the river is going to be there for just another minute. And meanwhile, AHGL and Sir Spam being pushed quite aggressively bot lane. Bobo and Crazy Moose using their poke and aggression really to their forte. Oh, Zarni coming in.
Here comes the gank. Point blank and not getting hit. Actually, stunning Zarni really, really well. Point blank is going to escape with barely any damage at all. Chop's missing that EQ combo to knock point blank it up. And I'm beginning to see why they were so afraid of that Riven. Playing his champion very, very well.
Yep, meanwhile, Kakashi ganked Iggy mid, and Iggy had to retreat back into his own jungle just to get away. Did get stunned a little bit, but nothing really that dangerous. Bot lane still just farming, nothing really big. Sir Spam looks like he wants to get a hook out somewhere, but they're just Bobo and Crazy Moose just hanging out in the creeps. Can't quite get a grab. Death sentence. Yep. That's what it's called, right? I was thinking so hard. I was like, what is that move called?
Bobo and Crazy Moose certainly doing a good job of trying to avoid that line of sight that Sir Spam going to try to squeeze that hook in. So they're doing a good job of exerting that aggression right now.
Nothing really to speak of going on that interesting. Iggy is going to be level 6 very soon, which means that Titicaca is going to have a little bit of trouble. I mean, once Cassin hits 6, it's really scary for the opponent laner if he's a squishy champion like Lux is. And, oh, there it is, right there.
Oh, actually dodging the binding really, really nicely. So Iggy's going to get all that harass off, and Titicaca now, who is not able to exert as much dominance over the lane as he might have liked, actually losing by a fair amount in CS right now. That is not how you want to play against a Kassadin. And now, especially because we're dealing with an Udyr, it's going to be impossible to gank Iggy.
Yep, Iggy is now pretty much invincible in lane unless he gets really caught by a binding. Chops trying to go in onto Point Blanket top. Chops is level 6 before Point Blanket was, so he can put on a little bit of aggression. Point Blanket will be 6 soon, though.
Yeah, Chop's going to have to be very, very careful. That all-in combo from Riven, once she hits 6 with a red pot, is definitely going to be enough to kill Chops if not played properly.
Yep, there she is with the 6. Does have a whole bunch of farm to take at the tower, though, so he's not going to go too aggressive. Sir Spam and AHGL just doing their best to help each other get the CS. That is always nice to see when a support knows just how much to help out getting that CS on a tower. Some champions is difficult to get.
Yeah, certainly so. I hate when you get the champions with deceptively low early AD and you can't last hit them properly in the pattern that you're normally used to. I think Annie's one of those, to be honest.
No. I don't think she is.
All right, you're just
special.
All right, I'm just bad at Annie. But we
Zarni,
knew that.
Yeah, we did know that. Zarni's still level 4, a little bit behind Kakashi, just 1 CS behind, but in farm. Oh, just hitting 5 right now. Iggy is going to grab this blue buff. That's going to be great for him. He's going to be able to spam everything he wants to, but he still hasn't gone back to buy. That's exactly what Titicaca is going to go do right now. So both mid players can have a bunch of items. Stop laughing at that name.
I was going to say Kakashi's sitting on a ward for ages right now, and so Chops is just like, all right. Good.
He's like, all right.
Hang out here as long as you want. I don't care.
I can get you a tent if you want me to. Oh man. Iggy actually having to deal with a whole bunch of CS mid, could not go back just yet. He's going to go back after this wave goes away, I think, but Titicaca will be mid, going to keep pushing. And that is something that's really nice as Lux against a Kassadin. You can push waves very, very easily, which is something that you really have to do against, a high mobility assassin who doesn't have as much clearing power, who will leave lane and go gank other lanes. If you can just push to tower, he will lose out on a whole bunch of CS.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, right now, Iggy is fairly decently ahead in CS, so he can go and gank a lane right now and not even be that far behind if not followed by Titicaca, whichever lane he chooses to go to.
Yeah, Kakashi having to go and cover top lane, a huge wave that Chops was just pushing, and AHGL and Sir Spam pushing this. We do see maybe Titicaca coming down bot lane, or maybe just warding the banana bush. Yeah, it is just going to be a ward. Oh, he is going to swing down as well, though, but he is spotted by this ward down at the Wraith ramp.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to be really, really careful. You don't want to be caught in the river by a Kassadin as Lux. You definitely want to be somewhere where you can retreat, because that high mobility, Iggy's going to have the advantage anywhere. in terms of that, except for lane. And now looking at this, Point Blanket going to try and come down, but does get seen by the ward, so nothing's going to happen in terms of that. Bottom lane, the ultimate combo, Bobo the Raccoon able to pick up that kill, getting slowed by the box. Is Sir Spam going to get out okay? Having to flash out. Is Crazy Moose and Love Raccoon going to be able to get there in time? And I don't think so, but that first blood combo going out, Bobo the Love Raccoon getting first blood.
Oh, Iggy getting caught up by the stun by Point Blanket, and Zarni does get rooted by Titicaca, and Point Blanket may get out of here. Iggy looking for it, though.
Iggy needs to get through the wall here, get that Point Blanket. There it is. There's the Q. He needs to attack once. There it is. And Iggy does get the kill on Point Blanket, getting harassed a little by Lake Titicaca, getting knocked up here. Lake Titicaca really low, getting the Cataclysm off. Is the Ignite going to be able to finish him off? No, that double shield is going to help survive. And now Iggy going to try and land a little bit of harassing Kakashi. Kakashi almost going down here. And really, really well played there by SecurityMetrics.
I always forget how much damage that Jarvan does with lane farm. It is absolutely ridiculous. He did pick up that Brutalizer right away, took Titicaca down so quickly, but unfortunately for Titicaca, that double shield was just enough to save him from that Ignite. That is always a deceptive shield.
I was shocked by how much damage the Dragon Strike did to Udyr. Like that, I was like, he just shredded through him with that. I was like, oh, it's Brutalizer. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And Kakashi does not have any real armor items yet. I mean, he does have a Spirit Stone, but other than that, I mean, there's no tankiness to him at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of like getting first blood bottom lane was good, really good for Qualcomm, but I think they're in trouble now because they have not really put a leash on Iggy at all, and he's now going to have more or less free reign. He's got his Catalyst already. He's got 1 kill and more CS in mid lane under his belt, and Qualcomm is going to have a lot of trouble dealing with this now.
Yep, and Titicaca did grab the Chalice, so he is going to have a little bit of defense. Oh, Chop's actually taking a whole bunch of damage from Point Blanket. With Point Blanket retreating, he does not have his ultimate up, and neither does Chops. They will come up probably
bottom lane, a lot of harass going down. Sir Spam is about to go down. Down he goes. Kakashi able to get in there, getting caught out while he's warding. Sir Spam was not in the right position at the time. The ultimate going down to try to clear the way for Adiendris. And Boba the Love Raccoon, Crazy Moose, and Kakashi may try to push this to the turret. Kakashi looking to try to be really aggressive, but Sarni is there to protect him. And there, Arcane shifting out, taking a whole bunch of tower harass Kakashi, but Sarni, it's like so much poke going down from that Sona and MF combo. Top lane, I also missed a whole bunch going down. Chops and Point Blanket going at it. Point Blanket almost dead. And that red pot is almost out.
Yeah, and Chops does have his ultimate up just now. Point Blanket's ultimate is up as well, but it did not look like it was up for that fight. But bot lane, yeah, Bobo and Crazy Moose just really taking advantage of their early strength and just peak at power, and really just punishing Sir Spam and Adiendris because of it.
Yeah, a little bit of a combo eaten by Iggy in mid, so he had to go back. But again, now he's going to be fairly strong. Actually picking up a Tear of the Goddess as well. I'm not a huge fan of that on Cassidy.
Really, it's really nice for being able to spam. The amount that you jump around, having both the Catalyst and the
damage
Tear.
going on Adiendris, just need another couple auto attacks, but it's not going to be enough to double up, doing a lot of damage, as that is what Bobo maxed first on Misfortune.
Yeah, well, I mean, it really does. That's just that poke. They want to take advantage of it. Adiendris does need to be careful. He is out of mana. He's not going to shift away.
Why are you still there? Why are you still there? They've got that movement speed from MF, but she did need a little bit of a harass to slow her down until that movement speed comes back. And there are the hearts. Needs one more auto attack. The Lantern going down for Sir Spam just in case Adiendris needed to get out of there, and he was able to escape. Just Adiendris so unbelievably aggressive. Oh, he needs to be so careful.
Yeah, especially against that MF Sona combo. Like, they will just burst you and you won't know what hit you. Adiendris is still here! What is he doing?
Oh my goodness. See, I mean, he's safe now, but I don't think he knows that he's safe. That's the thing. Like, because there's no one in his lane right now, but there's no way he knows that.
He does have a little bit of sustain from that Bilgewater Cutlass, but
it's a lot. You know what though? It's a lot of farm he'd be missing otherwise. This isn't necessarily a bad call, and he's already really far ahead of Bobo in terms of farm advantage, and this is only going to help him even further. He's going to be about 30 CS ahead of MF by the time this finishes off. Actually,
everyone, except for, I mean, the junglers are even, but everyone on SecurityMetrics' team is far ahead of Qualcomm's team in farm. Just really making sure that, I mean, there's a kill in favor and a tower in favor for Qualcomm, but SecurityMetrics is keeping the gold even just because of that farm.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, that's pretty big because towers will often go even once the game comes out, and so once you lose that tower gold advantage, it's going to be clear that, you know, that farm for SecurityMetrics is superior. I don't really like the fact that Iggy's been sort of sitting in mid lane. Oh my goodness, that burst on Titicaca, and here comes Kakashi ready to jump out of there, waiting for Iggy to try and burst him down. And now Zarni going to come in there, just barely, the binding missing him, and Zarni was ready there to protect just in case Kakashi decided to go in. I'm not really sure why Iggy hasn't been helping out the bottom lane thus far. Like, that's what Kassadin's good at. He should be roaming. He really should be trying to pick up kills elsewhere.
Oh, Zarni going in. Oh, actually, ulting?
Point Blanket flashing into that?
He really wanted to get that stun down, but Zarni's ultimate just ignores all forms of CC, and Kakashi getting caught out.
Going in on Iggy, and there, actually, Iggy rift walking the ultimate from Point Blanket. Point Blanket's now going to have to run away because there is nothing he's going to be able to do about that. Point Blanket trying just a little bit too hard.
Yeah, Iggy now going to come down. They do have this warded, so Qualcomm really needs to be careful about doing that. Yep, they are just going to back off. They know that SecurityMetrics has vision on it. They don't want to necessarily fight this. Now Qualcomm throws down a ward of their own, but he going in with that aggression. Oh, Titicaca is going to fall.
Titicaca chops going in, and is that Ignite going to be enough? Oh, the binding enough. The Ignite will be enough. Iggy would have been able to pick it up anyway, and they are going to be able to steal this blue buff right out from under Qualcomm's nose. Yep,
really, really good use of the mobility on SecurityMetrics' team, but Bobo and Crazy Moose now mid lane. Oh, but we do see Iggy coming in from behind.
Iggy just basically chunking Crazy Moose here. Needs to be really, really careful, though, because he's going to run out of mana, and Bobo the Love Raccoon can be able to chunk him down with auto attacks, and there's the stun. Iggy, thinking he can take them on 1 versus 2, is a little bit overconfident thanks to his early lead, and goes down because of it.
Yep, he was far too aggressive. I mean, the crescendo and exhaust more than enough to stop that advance, but Addy Anderson and Sir Spam are going to get this tower. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get out in time. Yeah, they're not going to fight. No, they are actually going to. Kakashi's going to come in and stun. Oh, but Crazy Moose is there with low health. Addy Anderson dueling him up top. He is actually going to get this kill.
That's going to be a kill for sure. There it is. And now they might be able to turn this around on Kakashi. Addy Anderson doing a whole bunch of damage. There's the box. Kakashi going to try and escape. It is getting exhausted. Is Addy Anderson. Oh, the hook landing. Addy Anderson does not have enough mana to arcane shift in. It looks though Kakashi is probably going to escape this. Oh, so very close.
Yeah, Sir Spam actually missing that flay, just barely not able to keep Kakashi locked down. But top lane, we're not watching, did see that Zarni and Chops did take down that turret.
Yep, not enough. Point Blanket on his own, not enough to. Oh, Addy Endress, really low on mana. Doesn't even enough for an arcane shift. He used the Q instead, and now Raccoon is going to be able to auto attack him, but the Lantern is going to be enough to save his life. I was going to say he chose to use his mana on a Mystic Shot. Oh.
It's okay because he has a Thresh on his team.
Yeah, I was going to say I had my heart in my heart was in my throat on them, and it looks as though we're going to see a Dragon attempt now from SecurityMetrics, and all 5 players are here. They certainly are going to have the advantage here. They have the pink ward down to be able to take the ward out. This is going to be what is essentially going to be a free dragon. They tried to steal it without vision. Titicaca missing the ultimate, but it'll be back up again in 10 seconds, so who the hell cares?
You're not bitter at all about that.
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. And a whole bunch of wards going down in that bush.
They just want to make sure that they can see that bush in particular. Point Blanket actually going to take this turret.
Iggy being really aggressive. Looks like he wants to try and go in. Chose not to go into Titicaca. Wise choice. They're going to try and shove around at the turret now. They're going to try and shove it in. And I mean, Point Blanket hanging around top lane. He needs to take down this turret like right now and then head to mid.
SecurityMetrics does need to be careful. They are taking a whole bunch of damage, and there is an AoE composition coming out from Qualcomm. That is really dangerous. How long until that Lux
ult is up, actually? Another 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That nerf actually, I guess, did do a significant, like at early
It's
levels.
only level 2. It's always been like that.
No, they nerfed the duration at all levels.
I know.
But now it's so it's like I think it.
You mean it's almost reasonable? I can't remember the exact numbers. But it's even I'm saying it's even longer now at level 2 than it used to be. At level 3, it's not quite as much of a difference, but at level 2, it's much longer. Well, Titicaca also has 0 CDR right now, so that's definitely going to be affecting it. I mean, you really want to get some CDR on Lux just so you can spam everything. I mean, at max rank on your ultimate, you can still spam it every, I think, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, yeah.
And, I mean, it is 6-second nerf. It is noticeable, I guess, but it's not massive, especially once you get that 40% CDR.
Yeah, certainly so. Look at all the wards from SecurityMetrics in the bottom lane here.
They want to make sure they can see.
They can see. There's a lot of little red eyeballs on the screen there. And here we go. We're going to see Zarni and Iggy taking, I don't know what I just tried to say there, taking a little bit of damage there. The poke going down. And Bobo the Love Raccoon actually seems to be a lot more in his element this game than he was last game on Tristana. And oh my goodness, as I say that, he gets caught and has to blow barrier, eating a whole bunch of damage from Iggy and Addy Endress. Point Blanket looking to go in, blowing his ultimate, but not able to use it on anybody anybody at all. The stun going down on Iggy, but flashing out at the same time, using the ult, dealing a bit more damage to Iggy. And now Addy Andrews looks as though he might get caught here. There's the Arcane Shift. And now Zarni flying in from over the wall to initiate on top of Kakashi. Titicaca missing an ult and absolutely the crescendo going down. Zarni is able to get out. So much damage coming down, but nobody has died yet. Addy Andrews trying to stutter step his way to a kill on Bobo the Raccoon. There we go. Bobo goes down thanks to an ultimate from Chops. Addy Andrews is going to be the next casualty of the fight. But Point Blanket and Kakashi now are in real danger here. The shield not going to be enough to save them. Point Blanket going to be the next casualty here. Chops is not able to get it with that Dragon Strike. And now the Lantern coming out from Sir Spam, who's just able to make it up here. And it looks like it was just a 2-for-1 exchange, and barely edging out that fight, SecurityMetrics.
Yeah, and you could just notice how much the mobility from SecurityMetrics helped. I mean, both Iggy and Addy Andrews just bouncing around, avoiding everything. I mean, Lake Titicaca completely whiffed his ultimate. The crescendo only hit Zarni. It was only him. And Point Blanket blew his ult really early and then missed with the execute. So just the mobility just completely splitting Qualcomm very, very well.
Yeah, the damage, if you notice the damage on SecurityMetrics, all of them ended up pretty much at, a third to quarter health by the end of that fight. The damage just not going out onto the targets that Qualcomm wanted them to go out on. If you're going to run, an AoE comp, you really have to make sure you're going to be able to hit more than one person with those ultimates.
Yep, and I mean, that's right where the Uyghur kind of falls short, just because he can only stun one person at a time. I mean, you can stun one person and then turn to another person and stun them as well, but it's not as effective as, say, a Curse of the Sad Mummy.
Nope, certainly not. Or a Curse of the Sad Bullet Time.
Right, well, that's that's what happens when you mix them.
Curse of the Sad Bullet Final Spark.
Crescendo.
Yeah.
Addy Andrews is going to go blue pill in this bush. It looked like Point Blanket wanted to go in on that, but he is just going to opt to take this farm as well. When is the dragon coming up, Wave? Can you let me know?
The dragon will be coming up in a minute and a half.
Okay, so
it looks like they're rotating down. They wanted to try and take out Point Blanket before the rest of the team got there, but it was not going to happen. Trying to slow Bobo the Love Raccoon, going to try to get there and slow him. Look at how aggressive he wants to go in. Chops could have just turned around if his ultimate is up. I was going to say if they were ready to engage on that, but they were not, because there's in mid lane Zarni is taking down a turret all by his lonesome, and he's going to have to get out before Kakashi decides to stun him.
Oh, he is so very quick, just running right out. Iggy checking that blue buff, but Qualcomm did take it already. And Addy Andrews actually taking this red buff so that he can kite a little bit better, because that's just going to go so well with his mobility already. And it looks like Qualcomm wants to push down mid.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to say base race, but I mean, we didn't really expect it last time.
Go 2 for 2, guys. It's a little bit early for a base race.
I was going to say very early in the game for a base race right now, but I mean, although
what is this? What is this? The ultimate from Ezreal coming in, going to take out one of those creeps, and
yeah, no, they're not going to opt to base at this. It looks as though Qualcomm learned their lesson here, and now Point Blanket getting engaged on the hook missing. Is he going to be able to get out in time thanks to that Riven mobility? That shield.
Oh wow!
No, Zarni's able to pick up that kill. They dove so far for that, and they're going to have to get out real quick before the rest of Qualcomm goes up and punishes them for that. So no base race this time around.
Point Blanket lasted so long there. His mobility and just sheer...
Oh, Iggy going in. He did get caught by the binding and does go down. Oh my goodness, the ultimate's getting stopped. Oh no, that misfortune ult was really, really great. If it was allowed to finish, that would have been a lot of damage. But in the end, it looks as though Qualcomm is going to come out ahead on this anyway. Zarni eating a lot of damage. Bobo the Love Raccoon's positioning is much, much better this game than it was last game. And Kakashi is just trying to stun absolutely anyone he can, but is not able to catch up. Addy Andrews now is going to be the next casualty, and that is exactly what Qualcomm needed to get back into this.
Addy Andrews just realizing he could not escape, so he just retreats back into the bush, saves the rest of his team. I mean, everyone on SecurityMetrics so low. Just, Lake Titicaca landing a Lucent Singularity could have just been the end of anyone.
That would have been a lot worse for SecurityMetrics if Bobo the Love Raccoon's full ultimate went off.
Yes.
It got stopped after like 2 waves of bullets or something like that.
Yeah,
if they had all gone out, that would have been brutal.
Sir Spam's slate was perfect. It just absolutely destroyed that bullet time. And
yeah, and I mean, it was like the timing on that crescendo and bullet time was like, it was spot on. So if that play had not gone off, like, yeah.
Yeah, well, keep in mind that SecurityMetrics did also have to use a lot of cooldowns to try and catch Point Blanket, and that was definitely their downfall. Zarni going in on Bobo the Love Raccoon. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get this. He's going to be careful, though.
What are you doing? Bobo, what are you doing? He's going to try to lure them in. Point Blank, it's really, really close, but this is the entirety of SecurityMetrics here. Bobo, you need to get the crap out of there, and he did. Oh,
Chops coming in. He wanted to engage on that so bad, but Bobo. Bobo not having it. This looks like maybe a Baron bait. Yeah, it's going to be a bait from SecurityMetrics. And Bobo swinging from the side. Oh, Crazy Moose!
They chose to go to Lake Titicaca instead, Crazy Moose. And now the engage on Point Blank. And I'm not really sure that ultimate was necessary, but Point Blank is going to explode. There's the bullet time, but it doesn't do nearly as much without the lockdown. And I mean, a little bit late coming there, so now this is going to be trouble. Oh, the flash in.
Wow.
Iggy going to try to get something to happen. Bobo the Love Raccoon getting out okay that time. And again, Bobo has been playing really, really well, but you got to be really, really careful. If you don't have something warded, don't go so close to a bush that's, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. Don't face check things.
Don't face check things. Don't get the Explorer Award. But, yeah, this is going to be a bear, but everyone on SecurityMetrics is very low.
Kakashi man mode. He's going to try to steal this. He wants to get in there, but he's not able to get around the wall of Addy Anderson Sir Spam. He wants to get in. He wants to try and smite it, but he's not going to be able to.
Oh, there's... Oh, wow.
So close. Tried for the... Oh my goodness, there's a crescendo. Do they have enough damage? Bobo the Love Raccoon's ultimate's down. If his ultimate was up, that might have been like a quadra kill, honestly. That was a great crescendo from Crazy Moose, but now they're going to pay for it. This is an entirety of a team that has Baron. Bobo the Love Raccoon's going to go on. There's an ultimate from Lake Titicaca, who's actually finally able to take out Iggy, and now they've overstayed their welcome. Point Blank is going to come in, but with that red buff slow, Point Blank is not going to be able to catch up. Still just auto-attacking Point Blank down. Point Blank needs to be real careful here, and now Addy Anderson is out of mana, and I really... Just SecurityMetrics, be content with your Baron, get out.
Kakashi was so close to stealing that. Iggy actually got the last hit on Baron. Oh, it was a really, really valiant attempt. That's always one of those things as a Baron, or as a jungler rather, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna be a hero, I'm gonna get it. And when you do, it's amazing.
It is. Smite timing, though, is often very, very difficult. You have to be, like, really, really sure. Like, you have to wait for, like, just that second where you see the, the first number or two tick over to where your smite does that much damage. And again, smiting too early is probably, in my opinion, a little bit of a worse mistake than smiting too late, because it's a lot.
You don't have your smite.
or yeah, like me, when you don't have your smite. I think we tried that dragon attempt yesterday. I was like, oh, by the way, guys.
You were like, oh, crap.
I do that all the time. I'm a terrible, terrible player.
Yeah.
Never ever listen to advice from me, despite the fact that I've been giving it all game.
You are a pretty terrible player. I'm sorry. I apologize. Iggy grabbing that blue buff is charging up that tier pretty well. Does have his Rod of Ages. I thought Iggy had more items, to be honest. He was just doing so much.
Oh, there's his needlessly large rod.
Yeah, there it is. But he just picked it up. I had thought he'd had like everything for quite a while.
But see, I don't know. I don't like the tier on Casson because it takes a long time to charge up on him.
It does, but it gives you so much mana regen in conjunction with Catalyst that you can just keep being super mobile. And your base damages are good, so you don't really need a whole bunch of AP early on to do what you need to do. That's
true. That is a very good point. But then it used to be, then what do you build it into? More mana, or do you build it into Seraphs? But now it's pretty much
into Seraphs.
Now build it into Seraphs, especially because more mana doesn't do anything for Khazad anymore. So.
Right. We may see a dive here. I'm sure that SecurityMetrics is feeling very confident, especially with Chops.
Oh, Chops going in. He wanted it. He wanted it real bad. There's the ultimate landing on, and there's half health. Addy Andrus having to back off. And look at this. Kakashi going in. Sir Spam is in way too deep. And there's an ultimate from Andrus point blank and getting a first kill. Chops going to land the kill. I'm not really sure an ultimate on Crazy Moose was necessarily the best call there. But Chops now trying to have to flash out. Kakashi so unbelievably fast. Are the two of them going to be able to clean this up? Point blank, it needs to be not so afraid to go in. There's an ultimate. The stun on Iggy is able to just barely escape. The stun on Iggy was not quite enough. And now Chops picking up another kill. Bobo the Love Raccoon is on the run. He needs one more auto attack on Chops. Where's the auto attack? There it is. Is he going to be able to take out Zarni before he goes down? I think so. Bobo the Love Raccoon has so much damage on him. There's a double kill. And now he's under attack from Addy Andrus. Needs to try and combo that. Oh, dodging the ultimate from
Oh!
It's a triple kill. Absolutely fantastic play from Bobo the Love Raccoon. Oh my goodness.
Wow, Lake Titicaca just barely missing that laser, but Bobo just kiting so well. That was exactly what he needed to do, and now there is nobody with Baron on SecurityMetrics.
Oh my goodness, that dive just not working out very well for SecurityMetrics at all. Like, I mean, despite the fact that, you know, we were able to see Chops get right in there, get a lot, like, you know, get a couple kills in there, able to take out, you know, Crazy Moose with the ultimate. Not entirely sure that was the best call there, but Sir Spam getting caught right on top of the turret was certainly a big problem for SecurityMetrics.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know that SecurityMetrics was feeling very confident. They felt like they were ahead. They had that Baron. They wanted to dive. But you have to remember, there's an AoE composition coming out from Qualcomm, and if you get caught in it, you are not going to survive.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that dive is essentially an advocate for the slow push that you see often in a lot of those higher level games. They want to try to play it a little bit safer. What, you know, essentially, you know, when you know you're 10, 15,000 gold ahead, then maybe you want to dive. But even then, in some LCS games or higher level games, you don't see them dive because they just don't. It's the easiest way to throw a game.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh, Crazy Moose getting caught, maybe, but no, Chops just saying, "Hey guys, what's up?" And then they're gonna swing over to this dragon. And meanwhile, Point Blank pushing top. He's not gonna be able to get that top tower, so he's just gonna put some pressure, I guess. I think that SecurityMetrics is going to push onto mid, but if they leave Point Blank up top, he will be able to get that turret.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, this is Riven in terms of split pushing is, you know, kind of meh. I'm wondering, like, if, you know, he thought that the team was going to go up and try and deal with him. No, instead he's going to try and back off. This looks like it might be essentially a free turret for SecurityMetrics right now.
Yeah, they're walking in. Oh, that final spark just barely missing Adiendus. Or Endress, rather, and that did a lot of damage early on, and that was sort of the sign that SecurityMetrics needed to back out of that last fight, but Sir Spam was just too far deep on that turret.
It doesn't do as much damage as it could be right now. It doesn't, like, I mean, generally at this point in the game, you can often see Lux Ultimate clearing a wave, and as you can see, it hasn't really gained the power to do that yet. She does need a little bit more AP. Need to see it like a needlessly large rod or something. Instead, it looks as though she's building the Morellonomicon along with Athene's Holy Grail for that 40% CDR. Not 100% sure that's the right move because, I mean, it's way too much management. There needs a hook landing on Kakashi, Sir Spam landing that, and there's a bullet time for the ages. The Love Raccoon getting feared though, and ultimated. Bobo Love Raccoon may or may not survive this. There's an amazing ultimate coming out from Lux. Chops is so very, very low. Iggy's so very, very low. And there we go. Sir Spam is now going to go down. Is Iggy going to be able to get back in and try and do something about this? No, is able to flash out. And now it is a 3 for 3 right now. That was really, really... Oh, no, sorry, not 3 for 3. Oh, no, it is. I was going to say... Too many... I keep correcting myself. Kakashi going to try and chase Iggy down. Needs to be real careful, though. I think Iggy could probably burst him down if he's not careful. And now is going to get caught. No, is not able to do enough damage to burst him down. The Ignite
wow.
Up. They do kill each other. Okay.
Meanwhile, Adiendus is mid lane, just healing up all that damage. There was a lot of people inside of Riven's stun, like on SecurityMetrics' team. They just got... crowd controlled so well. A few people got hit by the crescendo. A few people got stunned by Riven. Bullet time was beautiful by Bobo, but unfortunately just not enough to kill everyone.
Here's the problem now. The bullet time was really, really good, but it really put him in an awkward position because he was right in the middle of the fight after that, and as soon as the bullet time ended, Bobo went right down, was not able to get off that amazing auto attack, damage and kiting that he has been performing so far. I mean, that was very good play from SecurityMetrics, identifying the threat and taking it out.
Yeah, and despite the 2 extra kills that Bobo has on top of Adiendus, Addy still does have another 1,000 or 500 gold on top of Bobo. The Baron rather did just come up, so both teams are going to want to deal with that. A pink going down from Sir Spam, clearing that out. Oh, but Bobo might get grabbed by Sir Spam. No.
Well, I was going to say that looked like a very, very good opportunity for a hook to come out, but I guess Sir Spam wasn't looking for it, so... Instead, we're just going to see a little bit of a poke. There's some wards in that bush, so SecurityMetrics is going to see Qualcomm if they choose to try and engage. From behind the wall, Chops looks as though he might want to try to make something happen. Zarni is hiding behind the wall as well. There's the engage going down on top of... They were waiting for Bobo the Love Raccoon to show up. Is he going to be able to burst down? No, the crescendo saving his life. Where's the bullet time? No! Not going to be able to get it off because Chops identified the threat again, took it out, and I was waiting for that bullet time to happen, but I mean, SecurityMetrics playing that so very well. Chops now is going to pay for his transgression against Bobo the Love Raccoon, and now is Qualcomm going to be able to turn that around? Sir Spam laying down his box, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Sir Spam will go down here. There's a double kill, and now point blank, it's time to shine. Are they going to be able to take out this Baron?
They're going to certainly try. The crescendo into final spark combo was ridiculous. It forced Iggy completely out of the fight. Adiendus is going to come around and try and poke this, but Zarni, doing it fairly slowly, and Adiandra's getting grabbed.
Needs to get out of there. They actually choose to leave the Baron to try and take out Adiandra. Zarni does have his smite up, so he might try and get the steal off on this. Iggy is at full health now, going to try and get a whole bunch of damage.
Oh boy.
TLCastingGolems does go down, but Iggy is now in the Baron pit. They're actually warding them off the Baron completely. Point Blanket is got his ultimate up again, actually used it on a high health target, not generally what you want to be doing as Riven, as it is an execute. So now they're trying to chase Adiandra, but the mobility has proven to be way too much for them. They're not able to catch out Iggy or Adiandra, and now they're just going to have to leave. Very well done, SecurityMetrics, in warding them off that Baron.
Great kiting for SecurityMetrics, just splitting beautifully. Adiandra was kiting back towards the base of Qualcomm, so he didn't need to be a little bit careful of that. Oh, Bobo getting hit by the ultimate from Adiandra. Oh, we're going to see a double dive right here.
Is it going to be enough? That burst! Oh, it is going to be enough! Iggy doing so much damage to the burst and allowing Adiandra just to do the auto attack damage to finish off. Bobo the Love Raccoon is just getting wiped. He shows up on the map and he's gone every single time SecurityMetrics gets sight of him. Yeah, that double blink gank was just so terrifying. Iggy not able to do so much in that fight around the blue buff, but coming in and saving the Baron for SecurityMetrics beautifully. I mean, that's exactly what you do as casting. You just jump in and out, get those fights in, and done. Yeah, and see, this is the thing. I think, you know, SecurityMetrics doing an excellent job in eliminating Bobo the Raccoon every single time, but it's really just sort of prolonging themselves, because on its own, Final Spark and Crescendo were enough to, you know, give Qualcomm the advantage in that earlier fight. The only thing that prevented SecurityMetrics from losing it like crazy was the prevention of that bullet time. Absolutely. So they have to keep taking Bobo out before, you know, they're able to get that massive combo off. Oh, and we do see SecurityMetrics actually starting this Baron, but they got to be careful, as an AoE ultimate in this little space can do a whole bunch of damage. They're doing it fairly quickly, though. Yeah, Bobo's not there. They need to go in. The Qualcomm needs to get up there and try to prevent it if they're going to do so, and it looks as though they're too late, and the Baron is going to be picked up by SecurityMetrics, and now they engage an ultimate from Point Blanket, and not entirely necessary. Rift Walk and Force Pulse from Iggy, not enough to slow anyone down. He was out of range. And there's an ultimate tagging a couple people from Ezreal, but it's not going to be enough to do anything. And now we're going to see Qualcomm on the defensive as the slow push begins. Yeah, everyone on SecurityMetrics is trying so hard to engage on that, but there is quite a bit of disengage just coming from Lake Titicaca alone. It is really difficult to engage on Lux at full range. And what is Sir Spam doing? He's going to get caught out by everyone. Oh, he is flashing. He gets the box down, is able to get out, actually, and that's a really good disengage. There's the bullet time, but it's not able to do enough damage. There's a Crescendo, but I think right now the Baron is making them a little bit too tanky. Oh, shut down. You see, that's actually a lot of Qualcomm's damage that just got shut down right there. Bobo the Love Raccoon again. Zarn just being a crazy horse and trying to take out Bobo, but Bobo is really just trying his best to survive there, taking down to about a quarter health. And again, that Baron buff just going to heal everybody up there, going to be able to push real slow, like probably get an inhibitor, no problem. Kakashi not able to do enough damage to stop anyone from getting anything here. Yeah, and Chops does have that Guardian Angel, so he can go in and engage if he really wants to, but they're just going to grab this inhibitor. I can't believe Sir Spam survived that gank. I mean, that's one of the things about Thresh. He's just so tanky. Kakashi, they've taken a lot more damage than you expected. Is the Ignite going to be enough to take him out? No, he will survive. But Iggy actually being taken out by Bobo the Love Raccoon. That Light Binding just barely grabbing him, but SecurityMetrics did get the inhibitor, so they're going to back off. Most members, walking right into the Ezreal ultimate. Bobo is going to... But he's going to survive this. They need to make Addy pay for this. They need to make Addy pay for this, absolutely. And no, Addy's able to get a kill and get out and take out Bobo the Love Raccoon. Chops was able to pick him out, coming in from the side. They really, oh my goodness, that aggressive play. Zarni now is in trouble, though, because Riven is back alive. The ultimate going down. Are they going to be able to chase down that crazy fast horse? No, he uses his ultimate to get out, and there is the flay from Sir Spam coming out, trying to prevent them. Chops looks like he's going to try and either sacrifice his life. Wow. No, not even sacrifice his life. Able to flash over the wall. Kakashi is super frustrated, Angry Bear. He wanted to get in there and stop people from, but he was just not able to do so. Such good play from SecurityMetrics. Look at that mobility. It's so difficult to lock any one member of SecurityMetrics team down. I can't even, like, Adiandra's just using his ultimate on Bobo the Love Raccoon over the wall, jumping right in, getting him low enough so that Chops can just go in and finish the job, and then still kill Lake Titicaca. Yeah, Adiandra, honestly, did not deserve to survive that. No, I'm going to come flat out and say it. He used his Arcane Shift into an enemy base to try to take out an AD carry that he was not even able to take out, but he's got Thresh, so it's okay. So it's alright.
Oh my god. And Addy Endress is an incredibly ballsy AD carry.
Yes, he certainly is. Oh my goodness. Making the huge plays for his team. It certainly worked out really, really well. SecurityMetrics now ahead by almost 8,000 gold right now at almost the 40-minute mark.
Yeah, and one of these waves is going to have to be pushed by SecurityMetrics. They'll either go bottom or top. They don't have to go mid lane anymore, obviously, because that inhibitor is down. So now, I'm not sure what Qualcomm just needs to try and lock down and get those big AoE fights that they've been having, that they had been having earlier on. They were having really good success with those.
Yeah, the problem with those AoE fights is it's still like it forces Boba the Love Raccoon to be out of position unless they're in a really favorable place in the jungle or something. I mean, Boba the Love Raccoon having to stand still and channel that ultimate, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to do that. And I think Boba the Love Raccoon honestly just needs to be able to auto-attack more than he has been able to in fights, and he doesn't have a team that enables him to do that.
Yeah, and it is really difficult against... Oh, Addy Endress taking a final spark, and...
Oh, Point Blanket really wants to go in. Really, like, never afraid to pop his ultimate. Point Blanket going in there, just trying to get as much damage off as he can, but his ultimate's going to wear off pretty soon. Landing the stun on Chops, and again, the slow push with the Baron buff, which is just worn off, actually, now. So now Addy Endress is going to have to auto-attack to heal himself up.
Yeah. And being a misfortune against someone like Jarvan and Hecarim is really scary, because they can just bypass your entire team and lock you down if they really want to.
Yeah, I think right now what Qualcomm has to hope for is pretty much an absolute proof. There's another final spark going out. Both of those AoE ultimates not doing a whole lot. Kakashi going in, trying to engage on something, but SecurityMetrics not looking to have any of it. Chops trying to go in on Boba the Love Raccoon, but actually getting stunned and trying to back off. There's the combo ultimate, but it just does not do enough damage. They are too far behind in cold. Boba the Love Raccoon going to be the first casualty. Addy Endress is able to auto-attack his way to victory here. And look, Kakashi Point Blank, it's so low. There's the second kill. Zarni going to try to chase after Kakashi. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Crazy Moose is going to be the third casualty here. Zarni getting a kill. Is Titicaca going to be able to finish him off? Yes, but now it's going to get slowed, and the hook just not going to be enough. Addy Endress going to get a triple kill, and this might very well be the end of the game if they can try to push this turret fast enough.
Not enough creeps to tank those Nexus turrets just yet. The top tower did fall to creeps.
Oh, they're
so
so
look at everyone else. They're so low.
I was going to say, Kakashi really wants to make this happen, but he's Udyr. There's only so much you can do when you've got very little damage, even when they're all at low health. And I mean, that's, again, part of the problem as Udyr is it's so hard to lock anybody down.
Oh, SecurityMetrics is going to stay and try and get this. Chops does have his GA, so he doesn't have to be too afraid actually losing it.
And there's an ultimate going down again. They need to, basically, I mean, all the Kakashi needs to do, he needs to just try and delay this as long as they can. Are they going to go for the Nexus? They are going for the Nexus. This might very well be the game. Addy Endress actually Arcane shifting away. He's going to change his aggro. They just need a few more attacks. The GG is going out. That is going to be the game. SecurityMetrics taking it down 2-0 over Qualcomm. Well played.
SecurityMetrics playing that composition beautifully, exactly what they needed to do. Just in that last fight, you could see how much they were jumping over the base walls, in and out, every single member just getting in, doing some damage when they got a little low, just backing out, letting someone else rotate in. It was so well executed.
Yep, certainly so. So that, I believe, is going to be it for us. That was the AHGL B-League Grand Finals. Congratulations to SecurityMetrics from taking it all down. I believe that is $1,000 to the charity of their choice.
That sounds right. And not to say anything negative about Qualcomm as well, they played beautifully. Congratulations on second place.
Yeah, definitely so. A very, very exciting set of games. It was not one-sided in any way. I really, the entire time, I was like, I have no clue who's going to win that from the very start. Very well played by both teams. And, yeah, I was going to say, SecurityMetrics, you're going to graduate to A-League next year, I think.
Yeah, man, that was beautiful. I loved it. That was an amazing finals to cast. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, both teams, for letting us cast that.
Yep, definitely so. So that's, again, going to be it for us for now. I am WaveofShadow.
And I am Soniv, and thank you and congratulations, SecurityMetrics.